we're the #1 airport in the entire U.S. for international freight. Our airport turns 100 years old now in 2028.
Really?
Yeah. Most of the public-facing areas of our airport are going to be totally transformed.
You're hanging out with the crew of Dimelo 305, and we are at Miami International Airport with the director himself, Ralph Cutié. Thanks so much, sir, for hanging out with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So this is pretty cool because we've never filmed in the airport. So we're excited. We're looking forward to it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Sure. Our pleasure.
So did you always want to be the director of the airport? Like, how do you fall in love with this idea, and how do you even get here?
Sure. So I've always been a huge history buff, huge aviation and military history buff. So I started working with the county about 35 and a half years ago. And I worked my way through 4 different departments. And when I had the opportunity to come to aviation back about 13 plus years ago, I jumped at the chance. But yeah, you don't prepare for a job like this. It kind of just happens. I mean, you prepare throughout your career for, promotional opportunities and things like that. But I was blessed enough to be given the opportunity. And again, it just kind of dovetailed very nicely with what's been a passion of mine since I was a young man, which is history, World War II history, military history, aviation history. So, it worked out great, and I love our airport. I love working here. So that's how it happened.
When we think about Miami International Airport, what are some things that come to mind? How do you describe our airport compared to many of the other airports in the country?
Sure. Well, we are one of the busiest airports in the entire country, if not the world. So we're currently the 2nd busiest airport for international passengers in the entire U.S., 10th busiest in the U.S. for total overall passengers. And you take those same rankings internationally, we're the 27th busiest airport in the entire world for total overall passengers and 34th busiest for international. To put that in a little perspective, there's about 40,000 airports in the entire world of varying sizes. Some as large as ours, some smaller, some just a simple airfield with a tower. 20,000 of those airports are in the United States, and about 9,000 of those airports accept commercial traffic, which is American, United, Delta, etc. So that puts some of those rankings in perspective. We're one of the highest ranked airports as far as passenger volume in the entire country and the world. And then on the cargo side, we're the #1 airport in the entire U.S. for international freight.
Oh, wow.
#3 for total freight and 3 for total cargo, which is freight and mail combined. And when you take those same categories internationally, we're the 5th busiest airport for international freight in the entire world. Our airport turns 100 years old now in 2028.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we have a very extensive, rapidly becoming a
100 years old.
100 years old in 2028, September of 2028. So we have a very ambitious $14 billion capital improvement and modernization program currently underway. And we're modernizing everything from the cabin to the curb. We're expanding terminals. We are replacing loading bridges, replacing elevators, escalators, moving walkways, modernizing and renovating restrooms.
I love that you're talking about this because I think from the outside looking in, we're very involved in the community. We hear all the time.
Sure.
We hear the complaints and we hear people talking about it. So I love that you're talking about this because I don't think people realize that things take time.
Things take time,
right?
and that's why I like to mention the dates because, for example, D60, which we unveiled a couple of weeks ago, that project's scheduled to be completed in 2030. Central Terminal, which is our oldest terminal, it's 80 plus years old, we're scheduled to complete that project in 2031. And then Concourse K, which I mentioned before, we broke ground, like I said, last June. That's supposed to be done in 2029. So when we take all those dates combined, all the major public-facing areas of our airport, 2029, 2030, and 2031. So we're in 2026. In the next 5.5 years, most of the public-facing areas of our airport are going to be totally transformed. Not including the other additional projects that people don't see. Runway work on our fuel farm, things like that make us more efficient. So there's all kinds of good work that's going on here, but like you said, things take time. They don't happen overnight. And the most difficult thing, which people don't realize, is that we're building all this while we continue to operate. Well, I've already told you, is one of the busiest airports in the world, and that makes it hard because it's a challenge. And there's an old quote that a former director who's a good friend, and I steal it all the time, which is doing work here at MIA is the equivalent of changing the tiles in your shower while you're taking a shower.
As a director of such a busy airport, what are some of the things that keep you up at night?
Wow, that's a good question. So I would say what I said before, which is maintaining the operation while we operate. But there's several specific things. For example, a couple of nights ago, I got a call at 3 o'clock in the morning. We had a power surge, and half of North Terminal was out without power. Now, that's the time when we're not flying, because we typically don't fly from about midnight to about 5:30 in the morning. So that 5-hour period, we're getting a lot of maintenance work done, etc. But we had a power surge from one of our FPL substations, and we had a switchgear trip, and I get the call at 3 o'clock in the morning. Listen, we have a power outage, and that's something that keeps you up at night, because when you have a power outage, that means no AC, no lights, no access control, no computers. The aircraft can't push off gates. It's a bad day for us. But luckily, within 45 minutes, power was restored. We had staff here, staffed up on the midnight shift, resetting breakers for AC units and loading bridges. So we were back in operation on time. But those are the kind of things that keep you up, because those kind of failures, people don't see them. But I mean, MIA is 8.5 million square feet of air-conditioned space and 10 million square feet total of terminal space. So it's 8.5 million square feet air-conditioned and another 1.5 million square feet of what we call ramp space, which is where aircraft park. And all that is considered terminal, and we have to keep all of that maintained.
One thing I haven't heard you say is that this airport arguably might have the best food out of all airports in the country.
Actually, it does.
Do you stand by that?
I stand by that. Our concessions program is award-winning. We've actually been ranked #1 for several years in the country for the local food offerings that we have.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I think 35%, it's a record. I think we have more locally flavored concessions than any other airport in the country. It's like about 35% of our concessions are locally flavored. So you can't go anywhere else in the country and get a café con leche, or get a croqueta, or cortadito, an arepa, or whatever. But we're uniquely positioned, like I said, geographically, under the leadership of our mayor. She's a real big champion for our airport.
We were with her yesterday. Yeah.
She's a great supporter. I mean, anything I ask her for, and my immediate boss, Chief Jimmy Morales, our Chief Operating Officer for the county, both of them, extremely supportive of everything we're doing. There's nothing I ever ask for that they don't give me the green light on, because we're just trying to get things done. So I think our future is very bright. Just people need to be a little patient, and I know I say that all the time. And if anybody wants it to be done faster, nobody wants it done faster than I do. But I think the future is very bright. And
it takes a team.
It takes a team, and it's over the next 5-6 years, you're going to start seeing a real big difference, which we're excited about.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm flying out on Friday.
Good.
Now I can say I was here with the director.
Yeah, sure. Anytime you want to come back, I'm glad to talk to you.
We appreciate your time.
Sure, likewise.